It's extremely accurate. Just squirting everything, looking for any bubbles. I'm looking for bubbles. I don't see any bubbles. Look, guys, look. If you look closely, see the bubbles? Better bottle. Oh my gosh. Say that a bunch of times. Well, hey guys, this is Darren with My RV Works. We were called in to troubleshoot an LP leak. It was on a truck camper. When we got there, we basically could smell the LP when we turned the LP on. Not right away, but it took some time. Interestingly, the LP alarm never went off, but we spent, gosh, it's a truck camper. It's not that complicated. We could see all of the lines, and we used our bubble spray to check everything. Never saw bubbles, but our gas sniffer here, the gas sniffer, we had that, and it was picking up something in around the furnace. But we squirted all the fittings on the furnace and no leaks at all. Anyway, so decided to go deep on this LP leak test. So if you're checking an LP leak, you don't know if it's the gas lines or if it's an appliance. So what I often do is I will run around and cap off the, I've got some right here, cap off all of the, just get some little caps, cap off all of the appliances. So I'm going to isolate just the LP plumbing lines directly themselves, and isolate all the appliances out. And another thing I'll do is I made a little tap jig that I can pressurize a system. Typically the systems are like 11 inches of water column. I'll go up to like 50 inches of water column. Just really stress the system out. Make sure you close your cylinder, your AMSC tanks valves when you do that. But really put a lot of pressure in the pipes, and they held 50 50 inches of water column for an hour. So we knew at that point we were good. It was not the plumbing line, so we started to then isolate the appliances themselves. Stove was fine. We squirted all around the manifold. Stove was good. We got to the furnace, and that's what I've got here. So the story here is this furnace has a LP leak on it somehow, and I've already pulled the furnace out. It's sitting here on my little motorized tool cart here, and I was gonna get it fixed, but I said, let's take you along for the journey. I have no idea where the leak is, but it's eluding me, and it might be inside. I suspect that the gas valve here has a failure in it. So there's the backstory. Let's get busy. Let's jump right into this, and I'll do a test, and I'll bring you in right in where I'm at with this thing. So here we go. So what I've got here is, this is an Atwood 9720, but it wouldn't really matter what the furnace was. This could be a water heater, this could be a stove, this could be a refrigerator. The point is that this appliance is leaking LP. Okay, so here I've got a little cylinder here. It's on right now. I make little tap jigs that we offer. Here's a little tap jig. I've tapped the jig right into the regulator, and it's a quick connect. Anyway, we've got information on those if you're interested. We'll make links below if you do a lot of LP work. If you do LP work, make sure that you can do it legally within your state. I had to go through all kinds of testing and licensing and everything to do it, but then I move up here to Washington, and I don't need any of that. So just check with your state if you can do your own LP. But I've tapped directly into the regulator, and I've got a number 41 hole here, which is blatantly large for something like this. But on your typical RV, the number 41 hole represents, I believe, 70,000 BTUs. I'm not sure. We'll make a link to a video where I talk a little bit more about LP. You can learn more about that. But let's stay focused. So what I've got here, I used a slack tube for most of this testing, and I like the slack tube because it's extremely accurate. It's what you use to calibrate all of your other systems. But here for this, I'm using a digital device. Okay, so here with the cylinder wide open and everything tied in, I'm at, what would that say, 13.7 inches of water column. Okay. The cool thing I like about this, we use inches of water column, so let me just change the scale to PSI. This thing scrolls around to all these different scales, so there's bar, yeah. So PSI is 0.5 right there. So 0.5 PSI is, if you're interested in how much pressure that is in PSI. So let me go back to inches of water column. When we work with inches of mercury, when we work in RV, everything seems to be inches of water column. So there we go. We're inches of water column, 13.79. So I have everything connected. I'm at full pressure. I've got bubble stuff here. I'll make links for all this kind of stuff. So I'm squirting my tool, all of my test equipment, just squirting everything, looking for any bubbles at all. So when you do these tests, it's good to check your test equipment directly. And so there we go. Everything is soaked down with the better bubble. I like this. I've got this bottle here, and then I've got the little dauber thing if I really want to pinpoint. But this stuff works great. The bubbles are fantastic. So no bubbles on any of my lines, none of my connections. And when I make these tools to offer, I actually hit them with 50 pounds of pressure, and I submerge them in water looking for any bubbles. So when they leave me and heading out to you, it's NFPA 1192 spec. Okay, so they're gas tight when they leave out of here. So my tools are good, my fittings are good. I don't see any leaks anywhere around my hoses anywhere. So our testing apparatus is good. I've also compared this with, like I said, my slack tube and a whole different tap jig, thinking, okay, well, maybe there's something wrong with my test equipment. So I used a whole nother test equipment, got the same exact results. So that leads me to here. Here I have a gas sniffer. Takes about a minute for it to boot up. I've gone through several gas sniffers, and of all the ones I've gone through, oh my gosh, this is like my fifth one. I use them a lot, and Klein makes a good product. I'm not associated with them at all. I'll make a link to it. But the ET120 is really good. I like that it's got a high and a low feature. So if I get a hit on something in the high mode and I need to zero in on it, I'll switch over to the low mode, and it'll really pinpoint that leak. And that's when I might use my better bubble dauber or my better bottle. Oh my gosh, say that a bunch of times. So this thing takes about a minute to boot up, and so we'll let that sit over there. I'm looking for bubbles. I don't see any bubbles. That is why I'm thinking the leak might be through this gas valve and inside the burn chamber. That's what I'm operating off of. Why? Well, because I don't see any bubbles on any of this, but yet when I pulled the furnace out of the RV and I stuck this gas sniffer in this exhaust port in the back, this thing went crazy. And I'm trying to recreate that. So here we are. He's in high, which means he's going to be sniffing more of a broader scope, not real narrow. And okay, so I don't get any beeps here. Nothing here, so we're good. I'm just going to stick him in this exhaust port. Okay, he'll beep faster. What I'll do now is what I would call a leak test on this individual appliance. So I'm at 13.7. I'm going to turn off my service valve. Okay, service valve is totally turned off. And I'm at 13.8 now. And I'm going to bleed out. I don't know if you guys can see that. If I put that there, I'll be able to see it. How's that? I'll tell you what it is. Okay, so I need to, the service valve is off, so this is holding pressure, but it's got a lot of head pressure in it, so I need to bleed it off until I'm kind of in the middle. So I'm just going to bleed this out a little bit, and I want to get it to, I don't know, around the 8 mark. So here we go. Bleeding out. I can hear it. Okay, I'm down to... It'll buck on you when it's ready. See all that head pressure is bleeding off? So I'm at 12. There it goes. So I'm at still at 10. Let me bleed off a little. I'm right on that threshold. Okay, so let's go with that. I'm all twisted. So I'm at 8. Can you guys see? 8 point something. 8.5. Okay, so I'm at 8.5, and what I like to do is piece of paper. So I'm at 8 point. Let's call it 8.6. 8.6. So I'm going to say 8.6 at. I got 1635. 1635. That's 435. So 8.6 inches at 435. So let's just give that, it's a 3-minute test according to the NFC 1192. So we got to give this 3 minutes. So 5, 6, 7, 8. So at 38, we're going to see what this number is. So I want you guys to see and watch this number. This is what we've been fighting. So looks like there's a glare, doesn't there? How about that? I like going it as a little shiny. Okay, go with that. So we're at 8.5. Okay. So you guys watch this number. We might go fast forward for this part right here just to watch this number. I'm also getting I was getting a red light. One red light right here. So let's stick this back inside of here. As soon as I pulled it out, the red light went away. 8.4, 8.3. So we started at 8.6. Now we're at 8.37. So you're beginning to see that it's not holding pressure. This gas valve here should be holding the pressure back. But now I'm at 8.2. So you see, without even going, it's 37 after. So we're at 2 minutes. So you see it's just going down. 8.2, 8.19. Therefore, it's not gas tight. I've tested all of my tubes. I've tested my test equipment. And I am getting, if I pull this out, I'm getting, can you guys see this? I'm way over here, but there's a red light right there telling me it's getting a hit on something inside of here. So I think we can all see it's just slowly bleeding out. Okay, slowly bleeding out. So I will turn my pressure back up without even going to, so 37. That's 2 minutes. So let's see what it does in the official 3-minute test. So I'm going to do, I got 10 seconds. All right. And you guys can see the number. So 730 or 781. It's going to go to 7 point. Okay, we'll call it there. 7.7. So it lost a whole inch of water column in the 3-minute test right there. Okay, so we have a leak in this system. So I'm going to pressurize it back up. You'll see the number go back up to its full pressure. There we go. So we're back up to 14.5, which is the full lockup pressure of this regulator. And now we're going to come back here. Let's see here. Yeah. So I'm getting a hit on it. I'm getting a red little dot right there. The other day when I let this thing sit, it did a full bar of red lights on this thing. So with that, I need to go inside of this thing, don't I? I need to go look at this gas valve. Can I leave it right there? Yeah. So again, I'm using the better bubble. I'm not seeing any bubbles here. I've used my sniffer all around this gas valve. I'm not getting it. Therefore, it's got to be inside the burn chamber. Okay. So there is the job. Let's go to the next step of this. I just wanted to kind of bring you guys up to speed on what we're working with here. And so I've still got... So here you can see I put a hold on it. And you can see I've got a red light right there. Okay. And which means it's picking up on something. So to test this device... Okay, all I'm going to do to make sure this is working, I'm just going to burp this a little bit. So you see what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up my little valve. I'm going to get a full dose of LP, and we'll watch this meter right here. Okay, so he's working because I just burped this a little bit and got some LP on him. So we know that this tool's right. Okay, thank you. He's off. All right. So with that, let's go into the gas valve. Let's put the gas valve in our hand, and now let's troubleshoot just the gas valve itself. I think the furnace is fine. There's a problem with the gas valve. So I'm going to turn this off. And I think what we'll do, well, what I was going to say is you guys don't need to see me take all this apart, but maybe you'll benefit from it. Where's my wrenches? Okay, so I've got my wrenches. We're still holding pressure because I've got it attached to my assembly here. So I'm going to burp it out. That brings that down to 0, effectively. Okay, so now we're done with this. And typically, I leave, this is a test regulator. So I just kind of leave that on it. So if I'm called out to do a test job, I've already got this on it, and I'm going to check it to my test cylinder here. So that's something we make, and they're great. I love them, use them all the time. So now we're going to take this apart. Always use a backup wrench. You don't want to put all that stress on that gas valve. It's possible that a previous person may have wrenched on this thing, and so we are done with this test jig. I'm going to put it right there. Okay, and I'm going to turn that off. I'm done with this test jig. Need a little bit of room here. Wrenches. Okay, now I need a little cap on that. There. Whenever I'm working on a gas, like I'll do a refrigerator cooling unit or something, it's always good to just kind of put something over that gas inlet so you don't get any debris in there. Okay, what are we dealing with here? Let's see here. Yep, okay. So it looks like a bunch of quarter inch. So the quarter. Okay, so really what I want, it's all slippery from the bubble stuff. Now, right here. Okay, so now we have the gas valve, and I'm suspicious of right in here. So I want to get to that. The gas valve. So now we're going to test just this. This is what I think is faulted, whatever. So we'll do that right here. And since we've come this far, let's also check that orifice right there. There's a dead bug in here, wherever you want, and they may have made a nest inside of that. 14.7 coming through our valve here. Okay. And there it is. Look, guys, look. If you look closely, see the bubbles? So this gas valve is leaking. And there it is. You see the bubble. Okay, so we have a failed gas valve. So just like that, we're able to diagnose. We found our leak because there's our big bubble. I can see it from here. And so yeah, I'll make links to better bubble. So what do we do now? There's really no user serviceable parts on this at all. So what I might do, there may be some crap in here. So let's do a test real quick. So we know we've got a fail. See the big bubble right there, right there, big bubble. Okay, so let me do a test. There may be some debris. I'm tempted to just replace this whole gas valve, but let's just see what we can do. Let's just go by the theory that maybe there's something that's blocking the gas valve, and maybe we can clean it out. So we're going to get this off. Okay, so I got that off. And I want to take, where are we at? I want to take this off here. And yes, I have the correct wrenches, but let's just take this off. I'm going after this small little orifice on the end right here. And okay, it looks clean, no problems there. Okay, but what I want to do is energize this. Hey guys, here's another tool I make, is this little test lead set. And what I need is, I like it because you could buy the master set, master meter set, and half of those things I don't use, but everything in this set I use in my job here. So it's really great. Some of these I make, and some of them we just kind of buy in bulk. And like so, what you're about to see me do here is create, a pointer thing and an alligator clip. So I want to get right in there and then ground it. I'll just ground it right there. Okay. So now with this, I use 12-volt tools, so I put my 12-volt battery pack, and you'll hear this thing click. Okay. So let's see here. Click. So I click. Okay, so what I want to do is get a can of little air, compressed air. Okay, so I've got this little tool here that blows air. You got those cans of office air, but this works just fine. So I'm going to energize my gas valve and then blow air through it, thinking that maybe there's something lodging it. And a little 3 ounces isn't enough to... And yeah, I'm feeling it coming out of this side right here. So let's go back the other way with it. Feeling it right there. Okay, so now let me put the put it back together and see if that bubble's still there. If it is, then I'm going to call it this thing's shot. But maybe we could have just fixed it with that. When we put this back together, we need new gaskets. So, and yeah, that looks good. And rector seal number 5 is what we use for LP. It's gas rated, whereas Teflon is not. Okay. Be careful not to get this on the first thread because you don't want it to clog your hole. Make sense? Yay. Okay. Yeah, it's still making bubbles. So this gas valve's failed. Yep, there's a bubble right there. Anyway, okay, so we need to get a new gas valve. That's what's wrong. Well, that's the end of the trail for this video. We diagnosed a LP leak. So look, in summary, we got called in for an LP leak all over this truck camper. We could smell it when we turned it on for a while. And our LP sniffer, this guy, kind of found it in here, and we're getting bubbles here. So we tried to blow it out, and it's still failing. Therefore, the seat inside of this is faulted. So I'm not even going to try to fix it. So we'll get a new gas valve, put it on that thing, and stick a fork in it. It'll be done. Anyway, hey, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell icon because that way when we upload a video, you'll be the first to know. And share it with your friends if this will add value to you. Now, if you're doing LP work on your own RV, great, wonderful. Make sure it's legal in your state. So if any of these tools would be beneficial to you, check out our T3 Interface sister company. We make these tools. And so that's it. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for your attention. And I hope this added value to you. All right, this is Darren signing off. Until the next video. Happy campers, say My RV Works. All right, bye.